Hi, my name is Andrew Jacobson. I am a second-year cabinet making apprentice, and I work on all kinds of things, whether it be framing, concrete work, furniture making, production of smaller items, even the occasional electrical or plumbing if it's on a smaller scale job. So today we're going to be learning how to measure, mark, cut, and fasten wood materials, but first let's get into safety. It is extremely important to wear your safety PPE, starting with gloves, which can help protect you from cuts, scrapes, slivers, or even crushing, depending on the work you're doing. Safety glasses can protect you from any sort of flying debris that may head towards your eyes. And earplugs are to help with hearing protection. It is very important to make sure that you wear all of your PPE at all times, whether it be on the job site or in the classroom. So for this step, we're going to be using the pencil, the combination square, and the tape measure. So our first step is to measure and mark out our 4 inch long pieces. So hook the tape measure on the end, measure out your 4, 8, 12, and 16 inch marks. Then we're going to grab the square. And we're going to transfer our 4 lines so that they run all the way across the piece at a perfect 90 degrees to your edge. So begin by taking your 2 clamps. It is important to use 2 because if you only use 1 clamp, then it gives the piece the opportunity to rotate, such as this while you're cutting, which you do not want to happen. So that's why you use 2 clamps spaced a little ways apart. Then you'll grab your hand saw. Go here. You do not want to put your hand near your line because that will result in you possibly cutting your hand. So start with it far away, hold your piece nice and steady. Start by cutting, just pulling gently to get the cut to start. Then, once it's started a little bit, you can push. Now our next step is going to be unclamping the piece, moving it over, and making the next cuts with the jigsaw. So you can remove your clamps, place them off to the side, slide your piece over so that both of your lines are off the table and you will not cut into the table. Take your 2 clamps and tighten them back onto the piece. Then you'll take your jigsaw, like so. Make sure that it is unlocked so it'll actually move. If you lock the trigger, you cannot pull it as a safety feature. So unlock it, line up your piece, hold it nice and tight with your hand out of the line of the cut. And make sure nothing is below because the blade will stick out the bottom of the piece and will cut anything below it. So you line it up and make your cut. So the next step is going to be learning how to fasten our 4 pieces together using a power drill. So the different parts of the drill are you have the battery, the handle, the trigger, the direction switch, the chuck, and up here you have your speed adjustment. So you have 2, and here you have speed 1. Speed 1 will spin slower, but you'll have more power. We'll be using speed 1 to put the screws in. So first step to using the drill, take your drill, make sure that your chuck is opened up, put the bit into the chuck and spin it. Until it's tight. You'll hear it click, and then you know you're good, and the bit's in. So now that your drill has a bit in it, the next step is going to be selecting your screw size. Your screw should be approximately double the length as your piece is wide. So we're going to be screwing a piece like this, and that screw is roughly twice the length as the thickness of one piece, so that you know it will bite into both pieces and you will have a strong hold. So for fastening your 4 pieces, the first step is take one piece near an edge so that the drill will be able to reach it, and clamp it down like so. Then you'll take another piece and your drill, put the screw onto the drill, put your piece like so, and screw it in. Then you have a piece that looks something like that. We will also come back and put a second screw in beside this one so that the piece cannot twist. So the first step to fastening anything with a hammer and nails is to line your pieces up how you want them to be. So in this case, we're just going to put them on top of each other like that. Then take your nail and you're just going to start it. Just so that it'll hold by itself so you won't hit your finger. Then from there, you can hammer it till it's flush. We'll also put a second one in. So same thing again, start the nail, tap it gently till it's started, then sink it till it's flush. So the last step, we'll be using a power sander to sand our pieces smooth. Start with your sander unplugged so that it does not get accidentally turned on while you're doing this. Then flip it over, and you're gonna have your disc, and you want the holes on the disc to line up with the holes on the sander. So you're just gonna rotate it and line it up until your holes on the pad of the sander line up with the holes on the disc. Press it on nicely so the Velcro sticks. Then you can plug your sander in and you're good to go. So for sanding, we're gonna start by sanding this face here. So hold your piece nice and tight. Take the sander, you have your power switch, so you have off and you have on. So just turn the sander on and gently, with good pressure, and hold it onto the piece. Make sure that your fingers are not sticking it over an edge where they will hit the sander, so hold it back a ways, like so that you will not sand your fingers. Wait till it stops before you set it down. And now that piece is nice and smooth. When sanding, it's always a good idea to have your piece on the table when possible. Sometimes you can't, such as for this face, you have to lift it in the air because the sander just can't reach it on the table. So now we're going to sand this edge. So to do this, on the corner here, you can hold like this, pinch, good pressure down so it won't move, turn your sander on, and just do gentle, small little circles. So that concludes our woodworking activity for today, and I hope you had fun at Skills Exploration Days.